Good morning, everybody. Hey. Good morning. It's your girl, Constance Carter. Let me get myself together. What's up? This is not your regular Grow Your Money podcast today. This is the free business builder masterclass. This is a webinar, and we're going to talk about how to think, build, and monetize your ideas so that you can turn it into a business. So, before we get started, in true fashion, as I always love to do, is I like to know who is with me. So, go tell your people. Whoever needs to hear this, go tell them that they need to join us because it is not a game today. I'm gonna be teaching you so much. I'm gonna just dig deep into how to go from ideation to manifestation to monetization. Why do I do this? Okay, so I do this because it's really important. The type of person I am is I look at a problem. And if I have the solution, then I want to try to offer a solution. Okay. So there are so many problems that plague our community. There are so many things that we have going on that just are not right. There is a lack. There are things that we need really a lot of help with. And so I'm here today to offer you that help. Okay, so we're going to get right into it. Go tell your people, tell them to go to thinkbuildmonetize.com and tell them to join this live. And I'll be doing some Q&As on here too. Also at the end, please stay into the end because I'm going to just, if you like what you hear, I'm going to tell you how you can further work with me. And I'm going to give you some offers that I think that you'll like and that I think will be that you'll be able to really dig into. So let me just shout you all out. I see you, Dennis Spraggin. What's up, Booker? Teresa, thank you. Teresa. I'm so glad that you're here. What's up, CJ Hardy? Good morning. Hi, Gail. All right, so I'm gonna jump right into it because I got a lot to cover in an hour. I'm not trying to keep you on here longer than an hour, so I want to get in, get out, and go home. Okay. I'm so glad. Oh, Karen, I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so I have a let me bring up my my PowerPoint presentation. So hold on a second. Let me go ahead and you know what, they changed this. Okay, how do I? Okay, here we go. They changed. Let's see. Share the screen. Do I want to share screen? Okay, I want to share. I want to share the screen. All right, bet. Okay, I want to share a window. Nope, I want to share the screen. I want to share this. All right, bet. All right, so listen, this is the Think, Build, and Monetize a masterclass. This is a masterclass for aspiring entrepreneurs. Where is my, okay, here's my slideshow layout. All right. Okay, so y'all rocking with me? Tell everybody, come on in. Come on in. I see you. I see we got a lot of people live. All right. I want to tell you a little bit about me before because I know a lot of you guys listen to me every day, but you have no idea who I am. So I want to tell you a little bit about who I am, why I'm here, why I'm qualified to talk to you about all these things. Okay. So first of all, today you're going to learn about how to identify your unique genius. What is your unique genius? There's something that people will pay handsomely for, y'all. You have no idea. And I want to be able to pull that out of you today and spark that idea so that you could begin to execute. There's a saying that the idea doesn't belong to he who thinks it, but he who executes it. And I'm not the biggest ideation person, but I am an executor. And I want to make sure. Let me make sure y'all can see my screen. Okay, y'all can see my screen. Okay. So I'm not the biggest ideation person, but I am an executor. And so it's important that if you have an idea, you're able to execute it. But a lot of times, people don't execute on their ideas. And I want you to start monetizing on that idea immediately. I do want to ask you a question for those in the comments, though. I want to ask you a question. A lot of us have ideas. A lot of us are sitting on brilliant $1 million ideas and you have not executed on them. And I want to know why. I want to get your feedback. And first of all, let me also tell you this, just like on my podcast, this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So the way I love learning, the way I love teaching is that I need you to talk back to me. Okay. So this is always interactive. Every time I come before anybody, I love the interaction. Okay. I love the engagement. But I want to know for you, for those of you, because obviously you're here because you have an idea that you want to monetize. What has been stopping you from monetizing or just putting out your idea so far? What has stopped you from putting out your idea? So let me know in the comments, in the chat, what has stopped you from putting out your idea? What are some things that have stopped you? And I know I could say like, Um, I know for a lot of people, it may be fear of success. It may be fear of failure. How many people in here have had fear of failure? How many of you in here have had fear of failure? You're too scared to launch because maybe you feel that you might fail. How many of you, how many of you have a fear of success? Some of us have a fear of success that we're afraid of succeeding because a lot of times if we succeed, then sometimes we suffer from imposter syndrome, right? Do we really belong here? Am I really supposed to be in this place, in this space? Sometimes we suffer from not knowing if we're capable of doing the things that we succeeded in. So say we created a business. Am I going to be able to maintain and sustain that business? How many of you have had that issue? So there's so many reasons why people are afraid to launch. Tamisha said, I definitely have had a fear of failure. What if it doesn't work? What if everybody laughs at me? What if I get embarrassed? I'm going to tell you right now, everything I've done, I failed at. I've been embarrassed. And I haven't been embarrassed at everything, but I have been embarrassed. And sometimes I feel like you need to be embarrassed in order that helps grow you. That helps develop character. And if you can't make it through, the failure is just another step forward towards success. Who is that? Who created the light bulb? Light bulb. Who created the light bulb? You know what I'm talking about. What he said is Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison said, it's not that I failed 10,000 times. I just found 10,000 ways it don't work. Those 10,000 ways that didn't work. Of course, he stole the idea from Lewis Latimer, who actually really created that light bulb. So that 10,000th way was actually from Mr. Latimer, who actually really created the light bulb. But that's a whole another topic. But that's the truth. It's not that I failed 10,000 ways. I just found 10,000 ways it didn't work. You know, the WD-40, the spray that you put on things to get rid of the rust. I think you get rid of rust, right? WD-40. The reason why it's called WD-40 is because there were 39 ways that did not work. So that 40th way, it finally worked. The reason why Formula 409 is called Formula 409 because there were 408 ways it didn't work. So failure is actually imminent on your journey to success. So if you fail, what if you fail? Okay, that's a lesson. I want to fail sometimes because then I know how to navigate when the times are rough. But then again, what if I succeed? So I want you to take the fear of failure out of your mind, out of your heart, and out of your spirit. Because if you do fail, okay, that's okay. But then we're going to succeed as well. So I see, let me see. Beatrice says, it used to be time and fear of failure. Okay, I hear you. Fear of moving from corporate America to a business owner. And that's a whole nother mindset. And I'm going to do a training on that right there, because that is a stronghold and a mindset that holds so many people back from being able to move from an employer to an employee. That's the goal that we all want. Okay. So many bad things have happened. Sometimes I think maybe these are signs to not continue. But what if they are, again, you're learning your lessons that you're learning so that you could be a great business person? What if these are lessons? I failed so many times. I've had so many. Just this week, I've had hardships and obstacles that I had to go through personally. But I always figure out, listen, I can't. Failure is not an option. I want to succeed as much as I want to breathe. Ain't that what what's his name? The hip hop preacher. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I do. I want to succeed as much as I want to live. I want to create a legacy for my family. I know that it's bigger than me. And that's why it's so important for me to move the needle. Okay. That's why it's so important for me to not give up. Lack of mentorship. This is big right here. Lack of mentorship, having someone to bounce ideas off of who is currently where I'm trying to go. That is extremely important because so many of us don't have our inner circles. We don't typically have those people who are doing what we want to do. Those are our family members. A lot of them are content with just being, just doing. A lot of them are our friends that maybe we grew up with, we like to hang out with, but they're not necessarily there to help push us forward. So you need to reach out beyond your circle to get around some mentors. There's a saying is that the three people that you hang around with, chances are you're going to be the fourth. So if you hang around with three millionaires, the chances are you're going to be the fourth. But if you hang around with three broke people, chances are you're going to be the fourth. So getting around mentors and coaches and trainers and doing things like this, investing the time in yourself to build yourself, that's what's going to get you there. Okay. So money, learning how to get a grant. Ooh, that's a good one. And knowing the next step. Yes, not know if I am going to succeed. Yeah. Not taking the initiative because it's too many steps, or not moving fast enough, not being patient through the process. Kriya, thank you for that. Oh, that's my girl, Kriya. That's my girl, Kriya. Thank you for saying that, Kriya, because that is the story of so many people. Not taking the initiative because it's too many steps. It ain't going fast enough. I don't have the patience. I just want to hurry up and get there. And it ain't coming fast enough. So you know what? I can go to this job and get this money a lot quicker. F everything else. So we got to think bigger. We got to think bigger than that, okay? Let me see who else. Failure is necessary to continue and not give up and push forward. Yeah. So let me just tell you a little bit about myself so that you can know who I am, so you can know who you're talking to. Because again, some of you guys come on here every day on my podcast, on the Grow Your Money podcast, and you don't even know who Constance Carter is. So let me just tell you about who I am. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, Catalyst Real Estate Professionals. This environment, I have the ability, thank God, I've done a lot of leadership development, a lot of leadership training, and I've invested a ton in myself. And so I have the ability to lead. I'll tell you about Net 7 in a minute, but I do a thing called Net 7. And this week I taught them about leadership, because leadership, bossing and leadership are two very different things. A boss just tells you what to do, but a leader inspires people to do something and makes them believe in what it is they're doing. And they own the concept. They own the business. They own the responsibility. So I was able to build this largest Black-owned real estate firm in California by being a leader. Okay. I'm a real estate investor. So this was a property that I just sold last year. This was a commercial building. It's called the Co-op Spot. And it was a co-working space, an event venue, podcast studio, all the things. Beautiful, beautiful building in Sacramento. I'm a cannabis investor. I won't be putting this on Facebook, but I do own a cannabis dispensary. I would always take pictures and I would send it because at the time we couldn't get have money transferred to our account, so we had to go get the cash. So I would take one, but I would never put this on Facebook. My dad be getting mad at me. I would send this to my family. Look at dad, look at mom, and my dad be like, "Don't put that on Facebook." I didn't put it on Facebook, but I got it for y'all to see. But I don't keep cash because now we could put our money in the bank. But I do own a cannabis dispensary in California, so I'm a cannabis investor. I'm also a best-selling author, so I have several books that if you want to, and again, this is about me looking at a need and seeing what the need is. And if I have an expertise in it, I want to help others. So I have Keeping Score, which was my first bestseller that I wrote just on my own. Somebody gave me the idea, because remember I said I'm not an ideation person, I'm an executor. So somebody gave me this idea to write a book. I had no idea on how to write a book, but somebody gave me the idea. I wrote it. And then it became a bestseller. Don't know how that happened, but it did. And I'm grateful for it. And then I have these other books, The Secret to Breaking the Broke Code, which is a book that's more around, breaking that broke mentality. And then these other books that I've done, 2 of them are bestsellers. All right. And then the Net 7 Collective, we just released this book a few months ago. It's called Unbreakable. This is where I coach Black women from all over the country. But in that coaching, I was able to help them to become authors. And so they are now authors. And so we have this anthology that we've all written together, 17 authors. And we're just talking about, things, our resilience, the things that we've overcome, the things that we've been through. We don't look like what we've been through. A lot of professional Black women from all over the country that are doing some amazing things, but we've been through some things. So we wanted to share our stories with the masses. And so this book is doing really, really well as well. So best-selling author. I'm also a TEDx speaker. I don't know if you've seen my TEDx, but it's called Google That Shit. And it's had over 440,000 views on YouTube. So it's one of the best TED Talks that I've seen. But about this TED Talk, it's really about closing the wealth gap, which is what I'm talking about today. My whole life, everything I do is dedicated to closing the wealth gap. And so this TED Talk, this TEDx, I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, that's what it's about. It's about closing the wealth gap. Most importantly, I am a mother of 4 amazing kids. These kids are awesome and amazing and trifling and lazy and all the things in between. But these are my children. I have 3 daughters and a son. And that is my biggest flex. That is my biggest success, is being the mother to those crazy ass kids. And finally, I'm a wealth activist. And so the reason why I come live every day, the reason why I coach Black women, and I have the Grow Your Money podcast, and I have the Grow Your Money Club, and I have all these things. I have events, and we're coming out with the Net 7 Nation, where we're hitting up chapters all across the country, is because I am a wealth activist. What does that mean? My goal is to help you to be able to close the wealth gap, to increase your net worth to 7 figures, to be able to give you the tools, the knowledge, and the information to educate yourself. I want to help you to create a legacy for your children and your children's children. That's the reason why I do everything that I do. So there is a huge deficit. There's been a huge deficit with African Americans specifically. We've suffered from predatory lending, since the end of emancipation, predatory lending, redlining, all the things that have caused this great wealth gap, this great wealth divide. Every time we've tried to move forward, things have happened to move us backwards, right? So we're creating these affluent neighborhoods and these communities, and we're building wealth, and we have Greenwood, and we have Rosewood, and we have all of these communities across the country where we're thriving and we're doing things. And every time we have made strides in our community, we've been set back. And so there has been a deficiency in education. There has been a deficiency in wealth, the spreading of wealth. Some people get it and some people don't. Well, guess what? They can't take from you. They can't take away from the knowledge from you. So if I can give you the knowledge and the information, then you have the tools to do whatever you want to do. But I don't want you just to be a hearer of the word. I want you to be a doer of the word. Okay. What does that mean? That means execution is key. So I don't want you just to be hearing me. I want you to be an action taker. Okay. Y'all rocking with me? Y'all rocking with me? All right, Michelle, I'm so proud of you, sis. It's a pleasure and honor. What a blessing to be amongst them. Thank you. I appreciate it. I see y'all. Okay, I see you watching from the D. Okay. So y'all keep rocking with me, because again, I love the interaction. Okay. So let's get into it. All right. So the median wealth of Black Americans could reach of 0 by 2053. This was a study done by Prosperity Now in 2017. And it was also published in Forbes magazine, that if we continue the current trends as Black people, our wealth will be a 0. Our wealth will be a 0. Have you heard that? If you haven't heard that, if you haven't heard me say it, I say it all the time. That's where we're going. Okay. So there are trends. They follow the trends. The wealth gap is already wide. When you look at the trends, everything good, we are on the bottom. Everything bad, we are on the top. Why is that? It was by design. But what can we do to break that? We got to break free mentally first, and then financially, because money talks, bullshit walks. And so if we can break this trend from going to a 0, which I don't think we will, because they done fucked around and gave us the internet. They done messed around and gave us AI. So I believe that is the great equalizer. But what are we going to do? How do we get there? Well, let's talk about it. There has been, as you know, with the administration, DEI rollbacks have really affected us disproportionately in the workplace. That's a problem. Okay. And then we know that a lot of programs, somebody said that they wanted grants. Well, they've also affected grants. And we'll talk about where the grants are, how you can get the grants, because there still are some left. Okay. I don't know if you know that even when we do start businesses, now they've taken grants. So they've had, like, especially with government contracts, you have these 8A certifications where they're trying to take away the opportunity for us to have not even an equal footing, but just some kind of leverage as Black-owned businesses, as minority-owned businesses, as disadvantaged businesses. They want to take that away from us. Only 2% of venture capital funding goes to Black-owned businesses. So we don't even they get 98% of the venture capital funds, and the little bit that we get with some of these programs, they're trying to take that away too. This is essentially what they've done. but we got to be smarter than the average bear. We got to think outside the box. Okay. So what also DEI has done in corporate America is it's taken away our leadership. So I don't know if you know, but only what 20? No, that's for women. Only 2% of CEOs in Fortune 500 companies are African American, and you know that most people hire people who look like them. So the people who are doing the hiring, they're hiring more people that look like them. There's a difference. So we have to be in those positions where we're able to reach out, we're able to reach back, we're able to pull somebody else forward. But how can we do that in these corporate situations where we're not the decision makers? We got to build our own. With this DEI, over 106,000 Black women lost their jobs as of April in 2025. 106,000 Black women lost their jobs as of April 2025. 106,000 Black women have lost their jobs in 2025. That's huge. And I don't know if I know some of the, in some of the classes that I teach the B1 real estate mastery training with the Black Business School. A couple of my students here in the DMV lost their government jobs, lost their good government jobs. One thing with the, and most of the jobs that were lost were right here in the DMV, because 80% of the government jobs were occupied, or 80% of Black people in the DMV were working for the federal government. And the first thing that they did is they went and cut our jobs. So it's unfortunate because, especially here, they teach you to go to college. Everybody here is degreed and they make six figures and they're told to go get that good government job. But what happens when you're dependent upon somebody else? And it's no fault of their own, because most of us do have 9-to-5 jobs. But we have to get to a point where we're not at somebody else's mercy. But that's why even when we're tired, even we don't feel like working, even when something's not working out or it's not coming fast enough for us, Kriya, we still got to fight to get it. Because if God gave us something, chances are he's going to make it happen. The problem is we give up before we can get to the promise. So we have to just keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. We're going to talk about that. Okay. So the question of today is, how do we close the wealth gap? We do it by starting our own businesses. The median wealth for Black families is only $24,000 compared to $188,000 for white families. That is huge. And it's set to be a 2053. I don't believe that. I don't believe it one bit. But think about that. Our median wealth as a whole is $24,000, which is kind of funny when you hear these women on podcasts talking about a man can't make less than 6 figures. Boo, that's only 1%, I think, or 6%, 1%, something like that, something crazy. Not many people are making 6 figures. And the reason why you have Black families, Black households that are making significantly less, because a couple of reasons. It's because we're not married at the same level, at the same rate, right? So if you're talking about household income, that's based upon normally, on average, a single parent household. So we're not getting married. We're not combining our money to create this generational wealth like other cultures are. So that's why we're at 24,000 in compared to our white counterparts that are at $188,000. Something has to be done about this. Black people, we are the most educated, especially Black women. We're the most educated Black people. We are the most brilliant people out here. We have discovered things that have been stolen from us. We have made moves. We have overcome mountains and obstacles. 44% of us are homeowners, as opposed to our white counterparts, which is 75% of them are homeowners. They've been given lands, millions of acres of lands, and we were given nothing. They've received welfare, handouts, all of these other things when we've received nothing. So we are resilient. I want you to understand that you are resilient despite of the hands that were dealt to you. You are resilient. So 40% of us even being homeowners. What does that mean? It means we are a resilient people. It means that the glass is half full and not half empty. It means that we can get to wherever we want to go. Again, we got the great equalizer. We don't need their credit. We don't need their handshake. We don't need their brick and mortar. They done messed around and gave us the internet and gave us AI And so these are some things that I teach, some tools that I teach as well, that are going to be able to help us to navigate business ownership. And that's the cheat code. That's the cheat code. That's going to help you. When I first started my business in real estate, everything I did, I created my own corporation. I set everything up. I've never been audited inside my business. My business, I've gotten grants, I've gotten loans, I've gotten lines of credit, SBA funding, all of those things because of the internet. Before I went to any training, before I got any mentors, I had the internet. Now, the training, the mentors, the coaches have helped me scale my business exponentially. But just that foundational piece, we need to utilize the resources that are free to us. And there are resources that are free to us. Okay? So I want you to think about that. Listen to podcasts. Listen to me. Listen to other people. Just continue to pour into yourself. Here's the thing. One thing I have the ladies of the Net 7 Collective do when we start a new cohort is I have them read a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. And in this book, Outliers, he talks about 10,000 hours to perfection. How all of these famous people became uberly successful because they spent 10,000 hours, because of a collection of 10,000 hours, whatever happenstance happened upon them getting that 10,000 hours. Like he talked about Bill Gates because he was able to sneak into a building and able to code for 10,000 hours, or the Beatles because they had a gig where they were just playing for 10,000. Like all of these people, how they're able to get successful with this 10,000 hours. Now think about this. You get up. What's the first thing that a lot of us do when we get up? Scrolling. How many hours have we wasted scrolling on things that make us no money, that give us no currency, that gives us no return on our investment? So imagine if you woke up and you started listening to something positive and powerful. Imagine if you woke up and you started doing a training. Imagine if you woke up and you got on the Grow Your Money Club and you started doing some of the training that's inside there, what that would do for you. You see, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody want to die. Everybody wants to be rich, but nobody wants to do what it takes in order to get rich. And you're going to have to take every step. There's no fast path to wealth. There's no fast path to abundance, to growth. There's no fast path, just like there's no fast path to healing. You got to go through each step in order to get there. And you want to do that. Because let me tell you, two people that this happened to. There's a Sophia Russo from Nasty Gal. You could Google her. I spoke at Facebook some years back, and she spoke there as well. And she was talking about how she grew and she had this $50 million business, or 500 million. I don't know. She was something crazy overnight. She was 20 in her early 20s. And then 5 years later, she went bankrupt. Why? Because she grew too fast. You don't want to get into a situation where you grow so fast where you cannot support your business. You want to go through each step. Pinky Cole from Slutty Vegan. She grew so fast that she ended up having to sell her business just a few months ago and got it back, thankfully. But you want your business to grow. So you want that time to be able to do your research and development, to have your trial and error, to be able to grow. You want those failures so that they can help elevate you, get you uncomfortable, because there's no growth in comfort. So I want you to think about this, because this is all mindset. It's all the things the limitations that we've placed on ourselves because we believe in the microwave. If you look at a lot of these influencers that came out, and now a lot of them are in jail right now, some plotting to kill. It's crazy. Some of them out there looking like rappers, doing this, private jets. They're teaching you financial literacy, and you're impressed by that. And you're buying their programs from people who have never, ever even did the things that they're telling you to do. But you're buying their programs because they look like that. They look the part. So you think, oh, that's the fast path to wealth. That's a fast path to money. And really it's work. There's no fast path. I was talking to a guy one day who he had like 500,000 followers and he does really well on social media. And he said, and I said, okay, so, give me some advice on how I can grow my social media. Now I've been doing this a lot longer than him. And, I've been teaching for a long time. And he said, a lot of these things, I rent these Lamborghinis I rent the houses. I take pictures in. You got to do that. And I said, I'm not doing that shit. He's like, why? I said, I'm just a regular chick from San Jose, made some good decisions, had some successes, but I'm not doing that. He said, then why would somebody want to buy something from a regular person? I don't know. So people are buying into the fake ideas and these fake gurus out here that are showing you a lifestyle that they're not even living because we want the fast path to success. And there is no fast path. So let's get that out the way. Okay? So starting a business is critical. Let me tell you why. 70% of Americans, and that might represent most people, that probably everybody that's watching here wants to start a business, because you wouldn't be watching if you didn't want to watch, if you didn't want to start a business. Okay. So there are a couple of hundred people that are watching us right now from all these different locations. Now I know, okay, so if there's 184 people that are watching me live. I can guess that probably 100% or 99% of you want to start some type of business. Most of you want to start a business, but only a fraction of you will actually do it. Why? Again, it goes back to what you said in the beginning. Fear of success, fear of failure. I don't know how. I don't have the mentors. I don't have the motivation. Right? I don't have the accountability. So what can you do to get that? So the reason why starting a business is so important, because you know it, and I know most of you have seen these numbers before. The circulation of the black dollar. So now let's go back to the days of Black Wall Street. Let's go back to the days of Rosewood in the early 1900s after Reconstruction. The black dollar circulated in the Black community for 1 year before it left the community. 1 year. Why? Because we had to do business with one another. We had to build businesses with one another. And from outside forces, they were bombed and they were burned down. But then if you look at the most close-knit communities today, the dollar's not circulating in those communities like it did in our communities. So in the Asian community, that's cool, 30 days. In the Jewish community, 20 days. In the white community, 17 days. I don't have the Hispanic community, but that's 11 days. But in the Black community, 6 hours. But do you know why? Does anybody know why? Because there's no Black-owned businesses to spend with. If you go into our communities, only 3% of businesses in the Black community are Black-owned. So how are we going to do business with people that look like us if there are no businesses? In the beginning, I said, I see a need and I try to fulfill that need. The need that I'm seeing in this situation is there are Black people who need to start businesses. Okay. I know how to start successful businesses. I have had several successful businesses. So I want to teach other people like me to start businesses. There is a need that you have. There is something that you have that somebody else needs. And while you're procrastinating, while you don't want to do it because it ain't coming fast enough, while you have a fear of success and a fear of failure, people's needs aren't getting met and they're spending their money outside the community. So we can't even spend money with each other because we just simply don't have the businesses for people to spend them in. So you go into your community, there's Asians in our community, there's Hispanics, there's Jews, there's whites, there's Arabs. Go into an Arab community. Are you going to see a Black-owned business? Go into an Asian community. Are you going to see a Black-owned business? Go into a Hispanic community. Are you going to see a Black-owned business? Go into a white community. Are you going to see a Black-owned business? They're coming in our communities and they're building businesses because they know that we're consumers. But we have to shift from being the borrower to the owner, to the investor. You are needed. And know this, Black people want to spend money with Black people. They just don't have options. Remember several years ago, Killer Mike did a 30 days where he was trying to spend with Black-owned businesses and he couldn't find, he could barely do it, couldn't eat some days and had nowhere to sleep some days. There is a need for you. So I need you to understand that we are shifting. We know, Black folks, that in order for us to make it, we have to do business with each other. They are backing us against the wall by eliminating DEI, by firing 106,000 Black women. They're backing us against the wall so that we have to work with one another. Now it's up to you to figure out what that need is and provide a service for that need. And I want you to think about we do need more Black banks, like you said, too real for more TV, but there are Black banks out there and we can access them online. But I need you to have faith in yourself, have faith in your people, because we are no longer accepting the narrative that we don't do good business, that I don't even hear people say that no more. You remember that was prevalent. And that was the most self-hate Negro ass shit that I ever heard. And it pissed me off. I don't do business with black owned business because Black people can't do business. That lie was fed to you from the mouth of the devil. We do good business just like everybody else. Don't paint us with a broad brush. And if somebody doesn't do good business, don't do business with them. It's plain and simple. Do business with somebody else. But I'm gonna tell you like the Jewish do. I study successful people. Jews have less than 2%. And now, And just, by the way, I don't know if you know, but they've rolled back DEI for every other community. This is how powerful they are because money talks. So minorities, real minorities don't get the benefits. But now Jews are considered a minority. Their religion, they're considered a minority. So they already have they're already only 2% of the population, but they have over 50% of the wealth, and they're getting access to the grants. They're getting access to the contracts. Okay. They are backing us against the wall to where we have to work with one another. So that lie that was fed to you that we don't do business well, kill it. Create your business and do business with Black people. But one of the things that the Jewish people said is they don't do business with nobody else unless there is absolutely nobody in their community that does the business. They are very clear about that, unapologetically clear about that. So that we need to take a page out of their book and practice the same thing. I'm always going to patronize us first. And even if they don't do me good, I'm going to give them some constructive feedback. And if they receive it, we can try it again. And if they don't, on to the next. But I'm not going to cancel out everybody because some of them don't do business well. So I'm telling you, there is a need. There is a need for your business, for your idea, and you can monetize it. Okay. So I got to get that out the way because I need you to understand all the things that you said in the beginning of why you're not doing it. Understand, we need you. We do. So it's important that we set proper goals. Now, this is if you read any of my books, these 5 steps are in every single one of my books because this is important. I have a training on this inside the Grow Your Money Club. This is so important. This is a critical piece because it's all about the mindset. It's all about what you do. Every successful person does these 5 things when they are trying to set a goal. If you're trying to set a goal with building a business, with losing weight, with making money, whatever it is, you need to do these 5 things. Okay? First, you have to have a vision. You have to think it. The Bible says without a vision, what happens? My people perish. So how do you start a business if you don't have a vision for the business? What does that vision look like? So I do visualization exercises with the people that I coach because I need you to see it. This is not woo-woo. This is real life. And the people who are highly successful, they do this. I have a friend. He is very successful. He's a lawyer. He's a finance guy, and he's an investor in $1 million businesses. And he's a brother. And one thing he told me, so he used to be in the DMV, moved to, he takes so many vacations a year. It's ridiculous. But he moved to Miami because he wanted to live like he's on vacation because he takes a lot of vacations. And he told me what he does most of the day. He said 4 hours a day I'm visualizing. If I'm making, $100,000 a day, I want to make $200,000 a day. It's real shit. You have to have a vision of what your life is going to look like. When I went to the Tony Robbins conference, that shit, but it's real. We spent the whole day. What he does is he puts you in this room and it's like 40 degrees. It's freezing. And he's just priming you the whole day because he's priming your mind so that you can walk on fire. But you got to believe that you can walk on fire. So he's just priming, priming, priming. And that visualization, that's priming your mind to be able to see it. Okay. Second thing you do is you write it down. Write down the vision and make it plain. And I hope y'all got pen and paper. Hope y'all writing this down. This is some good shit I'm giving y'all today. Some good game. And oh, by the way, go let your friends know. Let your friends know what's going on here. Come to thinkbuildmonetize.com and get in this room so that they can learn what it is that we're doing, because they need to understand. They need to know all of this game. This is free today. Free today. And it will not be available after today. Okay? So write down the vision and make it plain. So if you see it in your mind, what is that vision? I want you to visualize it. And I want you to feel what it feels like when it's going to happen, because it is. I do what's called the Net 7 Collective. In 2022, I went through a tumultuous divorce. Beat me upside my head. But I moved across the country, and I was deciding what I wanted to do with this in this iteration of my life. I have had all of these great successes, and I've done all these amazing things, and God has just been great. Had a great life, still got a great life. And I visualized, I fasted, I prayed, and I came up with the Net 7 Collective. And now that's turned into me helping almost 100 Black women from all over the country and internationally increase their net worth. And now that's turning into me having chapters all over the country of helping Black women in different cities all over the place, having a vision, thinking about it, visualizing it, writing it down. And the third thing that you do is you speak it. Why? Because life and death are in the power of the tongue. You speak your goals. Now, I'm not talking about go and tell everybody what you're doing, because God gave you that vision. He didn't give it to everybody else. So everybody else ain't going to understand the vision that God gave to you. So you speak that vision as if it's your affirmation. So you speak it every day. So my habit is, my goals are in my phone. When I go to the gym, I speak my vision. I speak my goals. Why? Because for a couple of reasons. I speak my goals and my visions because life and death are in the power of the tongue. There's something that happens when it comes from your belly, your mind, your belly to the universe, the tongue to your universe. It shifts energies. I have a t-shirt line. It's called Conversation Tees. And one of my t-shirts says, speak life because your words are prophetic. What you say is, and it is so. So if you believe that you're not going to be successful, guess what? You're not. If you believe that you're not going to be able to create your business or lose weight or whatever that is, it's not going to happen. So you got to speak the things as though they are. Okay. The fourth thing you got to do is work it. Why? Because faith without works is what? Somebody say it in the comments, in the chat. Faith without works is dead. I see you. Faith without works is dead. So you could be thinking, chilling, writing, working, speaking it, but if you're not working it, so those are the think it, write it, speak it, that's the vehicle, but working it is the gas that gets you from point A to point B. You have to embody it. What does that mean? That means I got to do whatever is necessary in order to get it. I got to do whatever is necessary. And then finally, you will receive it. It's the reaping and the sowing. My favorite verse, don't be weary in well-doing, for in due season, you will reap your harvest. But there's another part to it. If you faint not. So, Kriya, it's taking too long. I'm not getting there fast enough. I'm tired. I don't see no results. A lot of you guys are right at the goal. Y'all right at the gold. You ever seen that? You ever read that book, The Alchemist? You're right at the gold. That guy was right there. He's digging for gold, and he was right there, and he turned around and went the other way. He was just a few feet from gold. But we turn around when we're just shy of the gold. Don't be weary in well-doing, for in due season, you will reap your harvest. That next part, I want you to put in the chat. If I faint not, put that in the chat. I'm not going forward until y'all put it in the chat. If I faint not. Come on. If I faint not. If I faint not. I see you, Beatrice. If I faint not. Who else? Teresa. If I faint not. Yes. Kathy. Kathy. If I faint not. Vanessa. If I faint not. Yes. If I faint not. I want to encourage you today to keep going. I want to encourage you guys today that it's your time. It is your season. You just got to know it. You got to believe it. And you got to do it. Those three things. You got to know it. You got to believe it. And you got to do it. Okay. So the first thing. So let's talk about the first step in order to start your business is you got to identify your genius. You got to identify what is your unique genius. There is something inside of you that someone will pay handsomely for. People will pay handsomely for that thing. People come to you all the time. You're solving somebody's problem. You see a need. Listen, I remember when before the calendaring system came up, style sheet and all that. That was my shit. That was my idea, right? I hated calling my hairdresser to make an appointment. I was like, if they only had something online where had I executed on that jump, that would have been me. I'd have been making millions of dollars off of style sheet. I have a friend who, Chris Johnson, he was on Shark Tank years ago. And I don't know how well his business is doing now. I'm sure he's doing great. Multi-million-dollar business. And you know what he did? He made a ramen maker. He said, when I was in college, we used to eat noodles all the time. Thai ramen. Used to eat. And when you put it in a bowl, the consistency, it would get real soggy. So he created a bowl for how to put top ramen in the microwave and make it and where it was good. Then he did like macaroni and cheese and he did something else and he expanded it and ended up getting in Walmart and all these places. I mean, we were in our 30s at the time. Multi-million-dollar business. He had an idea. A lot of people thought his idea was stupid. Mark Cuban didn't think his idea was stupid because he got a big investment injection on the Shark Tank. Ended up with a huge contracts all over the world and made a goob gob of money. And this is an idea that he didn't even think that it was going to do anything. He was like, man, eating top ramen. There's a need that that you see that needs to be addressed. And because you're sitting on it, it's not being fulfilled. LaTanya said, well, that yellow sticky note was my idea. I'd be a billionaire. Yeah. What's up, LaTanya, by the way? She's in our B1 real estate training, our B1 real estate mastery training. Yes. So think about what is that thing? Your unique genius. Oh my God, I'm running out of time. I didn't talk too much. Your unique genius. What is that thing that you have, that gift that God has gifted you? I want you to write it down right now. I want you to write down that unique genius. You ain't got to share it unless you want to. But what is that unique genius? I want you to write it down and I want you to meditate on it. And then I want you to start to execute it. But you got to identify, you got to think it, right? Then you need to create a strategy behind it. Define your audience. Who needs it? Who's your avatar? Who are you serving? So when I did the net 7, I said, okay, this is my avatar. I'm not talking about the cartoon. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm not talking about the little thing on your Facebook or on your phone. I'm talking about your target audience. Who are you serving? You have to understand who it is you're serving. So your avatar is that person or those people that you're serving. And you got to get real clear on that, because if you serve everyone, then you serve no one. So who is that person you're serving? So for me, for example, Net 7 Collective. It's a collective of Black women from all over the country between the ages of 25 and 65. And actually, the average age is probably like in 50s, 60s. We even have people who are 80s, Harvard PhD. These are Black women with expendable income, right? So these are Black women who may have who want something better for their families, who want to create legacies. They may have an idea, and they invested in themselves before, but they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they want to do something different. And they know the idea of insanity, the meaning of insanity, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So they needed a coach who has proven strategies, who's had successes, who can push them, right? So that was my avatar. The problem that I was solving. So this is what I thought when I did my fasting. I outlined everything. And as a result of me creating this, I was able to help them expand their businesses, help them grow their businesses, help them scale their businesses, help them invest in real estate, help them increase their net worth, help them improve their credit. Some are investing in hotels, some are speaking, some have gotten government contracts. They've all elevated as a result of going through this program. What was their problem? They needed help. Here's how I can help you. Here's my way of closing the wealth gap. So this was my way of solving that problem. And so me developing a product or service that was able to solve that problem was the Net 7 Collective. Now think about that for you. Who is your audience? What is their problem? What is your product or service that will solve that problem? And then you have to price it right. There's a thing called a black tax. I'm gonna just be real. And this is the reality. So say you opened up a business. Say you wanted to sell hair. Well, unfortunately for you, you may not get the same deal rates as hair as the Asian person who has the connect in Vietnam or wherever, or India, whatever, right? So now you're taking a hit. And sometimes that black person, because you don't have the same connections, your prices are slightly higher than maybe the Asians. That's a black tax. Well, what happens? I ain't going to her because she's too high. But you're not knowing that she's not getting the same deal as the other person. So either you're going to have to take a hit on your bottom line, or you're going to have to slightly increase your price. And you have to decide on what that looks like sometimes. That's not always the case. But you need to study your competition so that when you market, you're pricing your product for profit. And it's within the comparables of your businesses that are like yours. Now, you can make the best fried pork chop on the south side of Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't even know if there's a south side of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And oh, by the way, Korea, my kids are going to be in Tulsa next week. You can make the best pork chop on the south side of Tulsa, Oklahoma. But if it's not priced properly, nobody's going to know. If it's not marketed properly, nobody's going to know. Okay? So that's important. Pricing is important. Marketing is important. Strategy is important. So you have to create a strategy for your business. Okay? The next thing is monetize it. Now, here's the thing. You got to start small. You got to begin with a minimum viable product. Test your idea before growing it and scaling it. So I have an inaugural price. When I first started this group, I had an inaugural price. I made it to where I felt like this is affordable to a lot of people. So actually, a lot of people couldn't do it. A lot of people say yes like that because it was no problem, because it was for them. It might have been a little stretch, but I think it's doable. For some, it was just out. 500 might as well be 5,000, might as well be 5 million for some people. I'm not saying that's what my price was, but I'm just saying for some people, I felt like it was a reasonable price. And as I built and as I developed my credibility and as I gained, then my prices increased. Okay. So you test your idea before scaling. So that first group, that first cohort, while they learned, they were my test projects. I don't want to say it like that, but I learned a lot of what my people needed by having the testers. Okay, this is how we can shift gears. This is what we can do differently. Okay. So then as I scaled, I was able to really perfect it. All right. And then you have to market. Again, if you could have the best product or service, but if nobody knows you, you're not going to get anywhere. And you have to be omnipresent with your marketing. Social media is great, but that's not your only modality. You probably, if you've gotten this, if you on here, you've probably gotten my emails. You probably on social media. You may have gotten a text. You might be in a group, whatever, but you have to market it, because here's the thing, y'all. And this is what y'all don't understand. I'm going to put it out here one time and nobody bought it. I don't know if you know about the digital age, about the TikTok age, but you have to show a product 12 to 15 times before people will buy it. There's so much information. There's information overload. So if it doesn't work the first time or the 5th time or the 10th time, you keep marketing. You keep marketing until people buy. They're bombarded with information. They need to test the spirit by the spirit. They need to know that you're valuable. They need to know that you're not a scammer. When I swear, when people come to me, whether it was in my real estate business or it was in my coaching program, when they come and they want to work for me because they heard of Constance Carter. Well, what do you know about Catalyst? Well, I don't know about Catalyst. I know about you. No. Catalyst has a value proposition in and of itself that I think that you'll love it. So before we talk again, go study Catalyst. My coaching program. What is it that you know? Did you get a chance to look at any of the information? No, I just saw your ad. I want you to go and look at the information, because I don't want you to buy because you think I'm some internet guru that's going to give you. I want you to check my receipts. I want you to know my credentials, and I want you to know what it is that you're getting into. Okay. So that's why marketing and having all of these different modalities are important, because people need to see they're so bombarded with so much information. They need to get you need to be out in front of them as much as possible. And then you can create multiple revenue streams from it. Right? So from real estate. So my beginning intro on my rap song. And sometimes I have to do that to remember all the stuff I did. I'm a bestseller, house flipper, a businesswoman. But I think about it. I have as a result of me working in the real estate field, I have best-selling books. I created a t-shirt line because somebody said, "Hey, Constance, you have all these great quotes. You should do t-shirts." Okay, let me do that. Hey, there's a line on a cannabis investment. Okay, I want to increase my revenue. I have stock. I have permanent life insurance policies that generate compound interest. So all this one thing, I got really good and really clear on one thing, because before you go and start creating multiple revenue streams, this is the problem. Because the Bible says you should have 7, no 8 revenue streams in case a disaster strikes. That's what the Bible says. Okay, what happened in 2020? Disaster struck, COVID. What happened to me in 2022? Disaster struck. I got beat upside the head in a divorce. So what happens if a disaster strikes you? That could be a divorce, a death, a job loss, or whatever. You need to have multiple revenue streams. However, you got to get real good and real clear on one thing. Get real good and real clear on one thing, and then start to go out to other things. The problem is you want to be the jack of all trades. No, get real clear on one thing, and then the other things will just flow naturally. But most millionaires and billionaires, of course, they got their money working for them. It's part of the cash flow quadrant. And I didn't mean to go into it, but it's a very real thing. And Robert Kiyosaki, he talked about it. The cash flow quadrant. Most of us are employees. And then so an employee is a person who trades their time for money. There's only so much money that you can make. Your boss sets your hours, your boss sets your money. And that's it. You trade your time for money. And then you go from employee to self-employed. Okay, that's me as a real estate agent. I'm self-employed. There's no limit to the amount of money I can make, but there is a limit to the time I have. So I can make a large amount of money, but I have to work. I have to kill everything I eat. If I don't work, I don't eat. And then I went to becoming a business owner. Now I got other people working for me. I got other people that are trading their time for my money. I also have other systems. I have trainings that's trading time for money. Ultimately, you want to become an investor where your money is working for you. That's where the multiple revenue streams come from. That's where you're generating compounded interest. That's all of those things. You eventually want to get to a place where your money is working for you. That's true legacy. but it starts with the first thing. And you'll get to this, all the other stuff, but you got to know what it is you're doing. One thing I always tell my agents is knowledge. So I'm really big on education. Like that's the thing that I feel like set me apart when I became a real estate agent. One thing that made me very successful was because I just took all kind of training. But when you're trained, when you know what the hell it is that you're doing, then you have the confidence. Then you have the confidence to talk about it. Now I could sell it because I know what the hell I'm talking about. And now I can become successful. So now that's part of my everyday talk. Okay? Because now I have the understanding. I know what it is. I know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay? So imagine this. You created a course. So remember when I said I have other processes, businesses that work for me, other items. So say the Grow Your Money Club. I have 100 students that gave me $99 a piece. How many of you know that you don't need, I have 200,000 people on my Facebook page. I have 30,000 people on my Instagram, 30-something thousand on my TikTok. Do you know that there are people who have more people in their training with 2,000 people who follow them than I have with having over 200,000 people, collectively maybe 300,000 people that follow me? There are people that are out there killing it. You do not need 100,000 people to get 100 students if you have something that people need. And you do. So if 100 people were paying you $99 a month, that's $10,000 in revenue. Could you use $10,000 extra in revenue just by sheer of something that you know that people will pay you handsomely for? Yeah. So say that 100 students, now you have 1,000, because now people are telling people, right? You have 1,000 people in your ecosystem that are paying you $100 a month. That's $100,000 a month. You do not have to know or have 100,000 followers to get $100,000 a month based upon something that you know. And oh Lord, say you have 10,000 people in your thing and they're paying you $99 a month. That's $1 million a month. And I'm saying it that is simple because it is, but it requires marketing. It requires understanding. It requires being able to articulate your unique value proposition. Do you know how to articulate your unique value proposition? Do you know what that is? Well, first you got to have an idea. Then you got to be able to articulate it. You got to be able to sell it. You got to know all the means that by which you can sell it. You have to have the technical aspect. You need to be able to automate. You need to be able to delegate. You need to be able to eliminate. That takes time. That takes cultivation. Okay. So just real quick, I just want to tell you about I have a book called The Secret to Breaking the Broke Code, but let me just tell you about the acronyms on The Secret to Breaking the Broke Code, because this is important. It's also part of that mindset, right? The thing about it is getting to a place where we have belief. The being broke code is belief. Now, Black people, we are believers. We believe in God. We believe in ourselves. We got high self-esteem. But a lot of times we don't believe that we deserve it. And that's the reason why many of us have not started that business, because of the fear. And we don't believe, we have imposter syndrome. I know people who said, my brother, I didn't think I was meant to buy a house. Now everybody in my house everybody in my family got, they're investors. They have several properties. Some people believe that they don't deserve certain successes. So the first thing you have to do is you have to believe that you deserve it. And if you believe that you deserve it, then you can help other people to believe that they deserve it, or believe what it is that you're doing. But you do deserve it. Okay. The R in the broke code is being ready. Remember when I said that I had a marijuana dispensary? That just came. That opportunity fell in my lap, literally. So when in 2008, I was a top real estate broker in Stockton, California, which was the premier foreclosure capital of the world at that time. So I was closing, 300-400 properties a year. But I also filed bankruptcy that next year in 2009. I had more month than money. I couldn't take advantage of these houses that were 400,000 that were now 50,000, 100,000. So people like me that look like me, they were losing their homes, and people that did not look like me, they were coming in the area and they were investing. And I said, I would never be in a position again where there's opportunity like that, where I'm not able to take advantage of an opportunity of a lifetime. And I was at a conference. I was at a conference called CEO Space, and I was hanging out with this Black guy. He owned a bunch of Five Guys. And one thing he told me is, he says, I want a seat at the table of cannabis. He said, and he owned about five or six. I think he's out of Memphis, about 5 or 6 Five Guys. And he said, Black men have been persecuted. They're spending years and years in prison behind the marijuana. And now we see white men who are making millions and billions of money in the same thing. And I want to sit at the table. And I said, you know what, I do too. And so an opportunity for me to invest in a marijuana dispensary came up. Somebody called me. I was ready. They said, it's a 6-figure investment. I said, where do I write the check? I was the right person in the right place at the right time. Okay. Eileen says she's reading my book. Available on Amazon. All my books are available on Amazon. You got to be obsessed. Hold on. I had to clear my throat. I didn't want you guys to hear me. If you've ever read the book by Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich, he interviewed all these thousands of millionaires. One thing that they had in common is that they were obsessed with their success. So if you know that God gifted you with an idea, and you know that there is a need for it, then you need to be obsessed with it. I am obsessed with my success. I'm obsessed with you all. That's the reason why I come live every day. That's the reason why I coach Black women. That's the reason why I have the Grow Your Money podcast for everybody. That's the reason why I have the Grow Your Money club for everybody. I am obsessed. That's the reason why I do real estate. I help people close the wealth gap in real estate, because 80% of wealth in this country is generated through real estate. I am obsessed with helping Black people. I'm obsessed with y'all. You have to be just as obsessed with your success if you want to break the broke code. How do you get to there? You got to educate yourself. You got to be knowledgeable. So investing in yourself is extremely important. The time, the money, the effort, the energy. Things don't come for free. Listen, I am knowledgeable. This phone right here, thank God for the iCloud, right? So I've had my iCloud, my notes in my phone since 2013, y'all. I can go back I've traveled all over the country and internationally on training, because I invest in myself. I don't have a college education. Believe it or not, I have a PhD, a public high school diploma. And so I felt that there was something missing. And so I made sure that I invested in myself. Whether training, I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's why I'm successful. I have one coach I paid $50,000 to. I have another coach I paid $30,000 to. I have another coach I paid $10,000 to. I had another coach just last year I paid $3,500 to. I am obsessed with being knowledgeable. The way that I'm able to grow, the way I was able to grow and scale myself is because I had that knowledge. I know that I'm my biggest commodity and I'm my biggest investment, and I'm not afraid to put my money where my mouth is. Most of us are afraid to put our money where our mouth is. We want to do everything for free. And that's fine too. Like I said in the beginning, Google is free. Get on there, learn as much as you can, but you got to elevate. You got to do more. You're going to have to invest the time. If you really, really want this, you got to invest energy. You got to invest the money. You got to invest in yourself. Okay. And that's where being economical comes in. So not just investing in yourself, but making wise investments. What do I mean by that? Are you making your money work for you? Are you being an investor? How do you break the bro code? Okay, I need to start investing in stock. Okay, maybe I don't really know about stock, and I think I have. Oh no, I have an Acorn. No, I have a Robinhood for beginners inside the Grow Your Money Club. I don't really know how to invest in stock. Okay, take my training inside the Grow Your Money Club. Okay, I don't really know how to do that. Okay, get yourself an Acorns account and let Acorns invest your money for you. But you have to start making your money work for you. If you need to come down a little bit on some of the things that you're doing, some of you, and I want you to enjoy life, because you need to enjoy life. Listen, I enjoy life. Okay, I am outside a lot of times. You know me personally, you know I'm outside. But I also have my money working for me in other areas. And so sometimes we have to make that sacrifice. My passport was expired a year ago. I used to travel so much, and I haven't even, because I've been so obsessed with y'all, I haven't even traveled the way I used to travel. Not because of economical reasons, but I've been really focused on building our community. So what are you doing? What are you doing for yourself? How are you breaking out of this broke mentality? First, believe that you deserve it. Be the right person in the right place at the right time. Become obsessed with your success. Get all the knowledge and the training that you can, and make wise investment decisions. Okay? So I'm going to ramp up. I want to give you some opportunities. I want to give you some opportunities on how to work with me, because I know several of you, it goes beyond this. Okay. So this is a webinar. There's only so much I could do in an hour's time, and I'm well beyond the time that I wanted to spend here. But I want to give you an opportunity to work with me. I'm going to give you a couple of ways to work with me, because I do want to work. That's my goal. Okay. But there's only one of me, and there's only so much time that I have, and only so much that I could do. Y'all, I have a team of agents that work for me. I coach and train them. I have Black women that work for me. Not work for me, that I coach. I have a real estate mastery training that I teach at night. I do a lot. So there's only so much time that I have that I could help other people. And so here are the ways. If you really want to work further, if you want to grow yourself, if you believe that you deserve it, if you ready to invest in yourself. And I'm not going to tell you anything that's outlandish or anything like that, but I really want to help you. So let me give you the first way that you could work with me. I don't know if you guys know about the Grow Your Money Club, but let me just tell you what the Grow Your Money Club is. And you can log on there, and that's digital training where you can get information all the time. Have you joined the Grow Your Money Club yet? If not, why not? The Grow Your Money Club is a comprehensive program designed to take you through the complete wealth building journey. We don't just offer random courses, we guide you along a clear path, starting with fixing your credit and becoming a certified credit expert, to building your business, increasing your cash flow, diversifying your portfolio, and ultimately letting your money work for you. With over 30 trainings designed to increase your net worth, you get to either purchase the trainings individually or go through the 12-month roadmap. Here are just a few of the courses. From campus to cash flows. This is teaching your children to become real estate investors. The wealth map training shows you how to eliminate your debt, increase your credit, and diversify your revenue streams. You can learn to write your book using ChatGPT. Learn how to build your online community. What about 8 ways to make money using AI? Oh, and here's 7 online revenue streams to fund your $1 million dream. How about learning how to purchase tax deeds or land banks? What about getting started in government contracting? If you're a rookie, the Real Estate for Rookies training has everything you need. The Business Blueprint training will help you build your business foundation, get business credit, get business funding, and learn how to pay yourself so that you can scale your business to the next level. Or perhaps you want to create jaw-dropping video content using CapCut, Midjourney, and ChatGPT. There are so many trainings and masterclasses within the Grow Your Money Club, and I also drop 1 new training per month. You do not want to miss out on this opportunity to invest in yourself, because guess what? You are your biggest commodity. You are your biggest investment. Join the Grow Your Money Club today. So that is my answer to the cash flow quadrant of getting you from being an employee to making your money work for you as being an investor. So if you're interested in that, you can go to growyourmoney.club. Go to growyourmoney.club. Let me find the banner. And you can sign up today. You can sign up today. All right. So growyourmoney.club. Boom. All right. So that's one way that you could work with me. Okay. So you have self-paced courses. Sophia on here, she comes on every day. She says she increased her credit score 200 points. But not only do I want you to increase your credit score 200 points, I want to teach you how to go from using your credit as leverage to build wealth. All of those types of trainings are in there. Okay. So that's one way that you can work with me. All right. I'm doing another Bring Your Idea to Life training. Okay. Now this is a training. This is a hands-on workshop where I'm going to take you from, this is what we're doing here. This is an all-day workshop. It's a 5-hour workshop where we are going to roll up our sleeves, and I'm going to work directly with you to go from take your idea. Now we're going to work it. Okay. So inside this training, I love this. I love what we're doing. It's a little bit different. I've done it in the past, but it's going to be a little bit different. I'm actually offering more. So this is a $497 training. It's only going to be for early birds. It's only $149. Actually, it's only $149. Hold on. It's $147. Excuse me. It's $147. It's not $149. So this is a $497 training. It's only $147. You're going to have a 5-hour live boot camp. You're going to get a workbook. You're going to get idea clarity in this training. Okay. You're going to get the 7-day replay, but you're going to get Q&A. You're going to get an offer creation blueprint. You're going to get your branding and monetization strategy. And then I'm going to do an extra bonus class for you. It's called Monetize Your Mindset Mini Class. This is going to be a training before the training so that we can get your mindset right. Now, this training is next week on the 26th. Okay. So if you are interested, there is an early bird for $147. It's going to be $197 for the next 48 hours. You could take this training for $147. You could pay for this training. Now, listen, even on my site, and let me show you, I have, let me see. I have, you have access to Klarna and Afterpay and all that. So even if you need a little help, if you go to bringyouridea2life.com and you sign up now, you have access at $147. And let me see. Go to stop screen. Let me just show you the website really quick. Here's the website. So if you go to bring your idea, the number 2 life, bring your idea to life. So you have these options. Okay. There's Afterpay, Affirm, and Klarna. So there should be nothing that stops you. Now, even, I don't know if you guys have ever done, if you can't do the whole full 147, I'm sorry, 149. Oh my God. If you can't do the full 149 and you need help, Afterpay, all of these are options. And what happens is they do a soft pull. They don't do a hard pull. And if they, they'll break out the payments. They're very, very small payments. There's no reason why you should not be able to be a part of this. Okay. There's no reason. If you really want to start your business, there's no reason why you should not be in this class next Saturday. And this is not, I haven't even pushed this out to the public yet. This is just to you guys right now. Okay. So for the next 48 hours, it's $149. And then it'll go up to $197. Okay. Now the second one, or the premium, so it'll be regular access. The regular was going to be $197. That's going to start on Monday. So for the next 48 hours, it's $149. So you get a $50 discount. All right. Then you have the premium VIP experience. And let me tell you a little bit about that. All right. So you get the boot camp. You get the workbook. You get your business idea clarity training. You get the blueprint. You get lifetime access to the replays. And then you're going to get the business in a box toolkit. That's where you're going to get templates. You're going to get email scripts, and you're going to get offer framework. So this wasn't even in the last training. All right. This wasn't the last training either. And these people paid $397 for this. Okay. In the last training, they paid $397 for this. I'm going to give you a one-on-one 30-minute idea audit. This is going to be a one-on-one with you and I. Now, I don't know if you go to my website, Coaching with Constance, I charge $500 an hour to do a one-on-one with me. So you're going to get in addition to this, you're going to get a one-on-one with me for 30 minutes, valued at $250. You're going to get your branding and monetization strategy, your offer blueprint. You're going to get priority access. If you're interested in the Net 7 Collective, you'll get priority access. And then for the Grow Your Money Club, you'll get 7 days free inside the Grow Your Money Club if you want to do this premium access. And again, this value is at $997. And I stand by this. And so I'm going to give you this for $297. Again, if you're serious about starting this business, if you're serious and God has placed inside you this idea and you need to get it off the ground, now is the time. Stop waiting. Stop trying to do everything yourself. Get with somebody who has a proven strategy. Get with somebody who can really help you. Get somebody who has a vested interest in making sure that you succeed. I want you to succeed. I'm not a gatekeeper. Everything that I have, I pour into the people that I work with. Here goes a couple of people who...
Hi, I must say that this training has been an absolute blessing to me. Constance has made me awake in ways that I never thought. She has pulled out things for me that I didn't want to be pulled out. I think she has, even though she doesn't say it's a gift, I think she has a gift whereas she can see something in us that we may not be able to see in ourselves. And she doesn't stop until she pulls it out of you. She wants the best, I believe, in her teaching. And I think she makes sure that you don't settle for less than the best. When she comes with her all, and you can genuinely feel her sincerity and her speaking to you and her teaching you. And she wants you to not just accept for mediocre. I thank her for making me see that, yes, my business vision is possible. The sky is the limit. And if my mind is made up, then what's stopping me? Nothing can stop me other than Linda. If God is with me, who can be against me? I am determined to make my business flourish and be what it should be. And it's all because Constance was willing to take the time to have this training. I can even take it again. I am so elated and excited about what she has done for me as a person. It is the best workshop I've ever been to. And I thank her for being determined to pull out of us what she knew that's in us because of what's in her and because of where she has been. So because of her journey, I am now here able to sit and speak with her and look to be a better person on my journey and to help somebody else along the way. Thank you, Constance. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
That is so beautiful. So that was one of the trainings. And then I see Lovely JR, and thank you for all your support. Lovely JR was in the training. She's also a Grow Your Money Club member. She's learning about getting her credit in order. And after completing the course, she's going to become a credit advisor and advocate. Okay. Let me see. I got another one. Let me see who else.
I'm so glad that I participated this weekend. It allowed me to grow and to see that I can do anything that I put my mind to do, regardless of how challenging speaking in public is. And I will recommend this to anybody that is actually trying to get their business launching, because your techniques and your style and getting us to actually open up and share our story was excellent. I mean, the presentations and the way you fed back what we gave you was just inspiring, so I do recommend anybody to actually come to this workshop and learn how to, become a better business person and learn how to launch their business.
So if you wanted to do the early bird, you're more than welcome to. The premium is a little bit more. You're going to get some one-on-one time with me, which, like I said, I charge $500 an hour, and people pay it to sit with me for an hour. And that's also, 30 minutes of that is included inside you signing up today. So if you are interested, I would love to work with you. Again, I have a vested interest to make sure that you're successful. Some of the ladies have gone from going to our one-day training on to becoming a member of Net 7 Collective, which is also, inspiring as well, to see what all the things that they're doing in the world. Let me just show you one last.
I came with just an idea. I really didn't know how or what to do. I walked away with not only knowing what I came in with, but what I was able to accomplish while I'm here in my next steps.
It really take me out of my comfort zone. Although I have all these passion about specifically something that I wanted to create, I didn't know where to go. And this training actually helped me to take whatever was in my head, put it on paper, forced me to do what I didn't expect I was gonna do. I thought I was just gonna come and just follow a lecture. I didn't know I was gonna do step by step, and at the end of it create something that I could actually start working on.
This workshop has been really, informative and transformational. It's not just informational, it has actionable steps that you can do. And like throughout this whole workshop, Constance always see where we were at, asking like, why would we buy, helping us crystallize our offer, helping us, have more clarity and be able to articulate our offering and our vision and what we can, provide. And, I recommend this workshop. It's really, it has been transformational, and I'm thankful for signing up.
So you see, there are men and women. It's not just for women. This program is not just for women. So go to Bring Your Idea to Life, the number 2 life.com, and register. There are over 300 people on different platforms that are watching right now. I want to see all of y'all in there. All of you guys need to be making this investment into turning your idea into a business. That's extremely important. Okay. So if you are really serious about investing in yourself, do whatever you can, whatever it takes, so that you can get to the other side. The only reason why I have the success that I've had is because I've been willing to invest in myself, because I understand my deficiencies. I know I don't know everything. I needed other people to be able to help me to get to where I needed to be. I needed to be surrounded by other people. I needed a community. I needed a coach. I needed a mentor. That's the reason why I have best-selling books. It's the reason why I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California. It's the reason why I'm able to coach Black women and help them to scale their business. And oh, by the way, if the second offer I want to talk to you about is the Net 7 Collective, and this is for Black women. Okay, so I want men to watch this too, because you might know a Black woman who needs to be a part of the Net 7 Collective. If you are a Black woman or you know a Black woman, I want to coach you. There's two ways. There's two ways that you can work with me with the Net 7 Collective. Okay, so like I told you in the beginning, this was something. This is my passion project. I don't get rich off of any of this stuff. Okay, I don't. These are things that I do because I love you, and I want to see us win. And I'm not a gatekeeper, and so I always think about what is it that I can do to help our community, and I try to solve the problem. So there is an African proverb that says, when you teach a man, and this is nothing against the man, when you teach a man, you teach an individual, but when you teach a woman, you teach a nation. What does that mean? That means women, we're going to take the information. That's why you see most of the women that are going to these conferences. You see mostly women that go to church. It's because they're getting the personal development. They're getting the professional development. And then they're willing to share it with their families. They're willing to build their communities. You know what I'm saying? So, women, we take information and we multiply it. If you give us a house, we're going to make a home. If you give us food, we're going to make a meal. If you give us a seed, we're going to make a baby. So that's the reason why God has called me to help these beautiful, beautiful, amazing Black women. And I'd like for you to be a part of it. If you are interested in being a part of the Net 7 Collective, there's two ways. So there's a Net 7 Collective, and that's my inner circle. Those are the women that I coach personally. We meet once every Wednesday, and we meet every other Monday. Now, Wednesdays when we meet, it's all about the learning, the growing, the developing, the training. And then when we meet every other Monday, we do a study hall. And so that's where we are actually in action. Because one of the things that I realized, especially when this administration happened, is I realized that we need a lot more help. This used to be a 12-week program. This was a 3-month program. And I actually made it into a continuum because I needed to make sure that we were in action, that we were growing in the way that we needed to grow, that we were developing community. And so people were paying a handsome amount just to be in this cohort for 12 weeks. Now they're in this cohort for a lifetime. So now I teach, and it's the same women that I'm teaching. They want better. We wrote a book together. I told y'all, we wrote this book. 17 of us wrote this book, and it's about what we've been through. Some amazing stories inside the book. If you don't have it, get it. It's on Amazon. These are quotes from their books. You got to read these books. This lady right here went viral, Tasha K, and found out her grandfather was also her father. They put her mother in a mental home to cover up the crime. It's crazy. Just here, let me go back. Can I play this? Well, let me do this. Just so you know, if you've never seen the Net 7 Collective before, if you've never heard anything about the Net 7 Collective, let me show you.
3 or 4 years. I've been praying for a business coach. I knew that a coach, I read many times that all the most successful people have a coach. Coaches have coaches. I've learned how to purchase land. I've learned how to do overages in real estate. And I even learned some different things with credit, that I've gotten my credit cleaned up with my bankruptcy, that I'm almost in my home stretch. Doing everything right now and applying it.
I finished 2 ebooks. If I could do it, anybody can do it. And started a nonprofit.
I've gotten more out of this than I ever anticipated.
Constance has done an amazing job at placing systems to allow us to understand how to prosper in our businesses.
I'm telling you, I would move heaven and earth not to miss one of these sessions.
So that is the Net 7 Collective. These are some of the most brilliant-minded women. And if you need a circle of women that not only are trying to do the same things that you're trying to do, that want to see you win, the great thing about this group of women is they're not gatekeepers. I didn't create anything to where, you're going to have any pettiness, you're going to have any fighting, any bickering, anything like that. These are true women who really, they got their mind focused on building. And not only building themselves, their families, their communities, but building each other. So they give each other advice, come up with different businesses, different business strategies together. And here's the thing, I'm not the smartest tool in the shed. I'm not. I've made some really great investments. I know what I know very well. And I also know how to stay in my lane. So I know what I don't know. And I allow everyone to be inspired to empower one another. That's where my genius is. I'll tell you where my genius is. My genius is knowing that I don't know everything, right? Knowing how to stay in my lane and allowing other people to be empowered, to inspire. It's a heavy lift trying to be everything to everybody, and you got to go through me, and this is what we're going to teach, and this is the curriculum. Les Brown told me one day, he said, don't tell people what you want them to hear. Tell them what they need to know. And whether that comes from me or the other ladies inside the community, that's what I want, because at the end of the day, I want best for them. And so they all feel led and they are invested in helping one another. It is a beautiful environment. So if you need that sisterhood, that up close and personal sisterhood where I'm coaching you, where you're part of that inner circle, go to bookwithconstance.com and let's talk about what that looks like. Go to bookwithconstance.com. But if you are ready to register today, if you want to register today, you could also go online. Let me tell you, the Net 7 Collective, when it was just 12 weeks, it was $10,000. This year, and this year only, I've reduced this to $5,000. Okay? So I'm coaching you. You are a part of this inner circle. You have the opportunity to be a Net 7 leader, chapter leader in different areas where there's also a revenue share that you'll get from that if you're selected to be a chapter leader. But I'm coaching you, and then you have an opportunity to make more money, to build, to pour into the lives of other people. So it's only $5,000 if you are interested. This is for Black women who have the disposable income to do it. There are payment options here as well. So if you go to ConstanceCarter.com, let me go there right now. If you go to ConstanceCarter.com and you go to /welcome, you'll see, let me stop sharing and let me share on this page. If you go to ConstanceCarter.com /welcome, there's an opportunity for you to pay on that page. And there's also an opportunity for you to get Klarna, Afterpay, and there, Klarna, Afterpay, and all of those. So if you go to, there's actually not any, I forgot to remove that. There's not any payment options, but if you do the pay in full option, you fill out your information, right? you have the option to do Afterpay, Klarna, and Affirm. So they'll break down those payments for you. I've seen the payments as low as $100, $150 per month. It just depends on what your credit profile is. They will do a soft pull, so they will not report this to your credit or anything like that, unless you're late on the payments. But they give you an option to repay it in a year or two. So try it out. Just see if this will work. This option, and if it does, you'll get. There's a contract that you sign. I have an agreement that you sign. There is a book that I want you to read. There's assessments that I want you to do. This is not just a fly by night, but this is real foundational strategies that I have for Black women. Because in order to get to a level where you're growing and scaling your business, you got to have some foundational pieces. I don't want your business to skyrocket and you have no foundation. This is important. So if you're interested in the Net 7 Collective, go to ConstanceCarter.com/welcome. Let me put that banner up. ConstanceCarter.com/welcome. And you can go ahead and sign up today, and you will be a part of the collective, and we will welcome you into our fold. And we have our meetings on Wednesdays, and you'll grow and learn and share, and you'll be around a group of dynamic Black women. Let me show you this one, and then we're gonna get out of here. Let me show you. Let me see. Do I got Dee Dee? She's an attorney here in Washington.
When I tell you, it has been so much worth, so much more than I could even imagine to spend. Even the position I told you, that the position that I have, I was recently hired as legal counsel for Beach Public Charter School in DC. And part of the things that I said in my interview, part of a program that I created based on some tools that you taught me about, that I was able to tell them, look, I've already created these, or I think I told them I can create these. I had already created these programs for the teachers and for the administrators or whatever. Part of that is what got me that position. The stuff that I learned from Constance. Got this book, Unbreakable. We did this thing in a matter of, it seemed like a month. and it's coming out on the 20th. Just so many things and so much that I've learned, stuff that I use in my practice every day, tools that I've learned. Constance is phenomenal. We love Constance. And
That's
anybody
true.
out there, if you want to grow your business, or you want to change, switch lanes. You're thinking about switching lanes, or you want to see how you can get more exposure. You want to get multiple streams of income, and you want to grow your business. Constance is the person. I promise you that you will not regret it, and it will be worth every dime and more.
Don't take my word from it. For it. So if you ever see Dr. Jones, who comes on here every Thursday, she's a physician. She's part of the Net 7 Collective. Deidre McCann, she's an attorney. We have scientists. We have administrative assistants. We have small business owners. We have people who own restaurants. We have just people, Black women from all walks of life. Their primary goal is so that not only can they increase their net worth, but they're not just receiving, but they're giving to each other as well. And then with that, also, we have the Net 7 Nation. So for those of you who can't do the $5,000, that's totally fine. We have local chapters developing up all over the country, where our Net 7 cohort ladies are going to be over those. So you'll get the same opportunities. You'll get the same culture, the same community. I just won't be personally coaching you, but it'll be the same sort of the same thing. So just understand that you will have access on many levels, and we'll be rolling that out within the next few weeks. If you're interested in if you're interested in the Net 7 Collective, go to bookwithconstance.com and let's talk about it, okay? Or you can go ahead and pay, and then after you pay, then we will schedule a one-on-one so we could do an assessment for you, okay? If you are interested in the Net 7 Nation, go to net7nation.com and click the form. This is just a form right now because we're building out the back end, but the chapter leaders are excited about what we're getting ready to roll out. In fact, somebody was in Baltimore at the grocery store. She said the other day, somebody came up to her and was like, when y'all starting? It's crazy. So we already have hundreds of ladies who are interested. who are ready to go, who are excited about what we're doing with the Net 7 Nation. And just so you know, if you don't know, let me just show you a little bit about the Net 7 Nation before we get up out of here. There's nothing like being around women who see you, who support you, and who genuinely want to see you win. This is what Net 7 is all about. We celebrate each other, we build each other, we rise together. We're not just creating connections, we are creating legacy through wealth, through healing, through purpose, through real sisterhood. This is the nation. This is the movement. This is Net 7. So I know you learned a lot today. I know you did. I gave you a lot of information. I gave you a lot to chew on. And so if I gave you a lot now, if I've given you value just in this free training, imagine what you'll get when you get into my Grow Your Money Club. Imagine what you'll get inside the Bring Your Idea to Life one-day training. Imagine what you'll get inside the Net 7 Collective and the Net 7 Nation. So understand that I really do all of this stuff from my heart, and I care, and I only have so much time. So definitely, if you are interested in any of those things, remember. So just so you'll know, let me go back really quick so that you can understand with each one, because I know it's a lot. Okay. So real quick before we get off of here, I just want to just tell you again what it is, and some of you may have just gotten on here. All right, so let's go back to the early bird for the Bring Your Idea. Oh, and if you sign up for the Net 7 Nation or Net 7 Collective today, you also get to be a part of the Bring Your Idea to Life. That's also included. Okay, so you're automatically in. If you do Net 7 Collective, you're also in with the with the Bring Your Idea to Life. So you get early bird access for the next 48 hours. $147. A $147 investment into something that can really transform your life. We're gonna we're gonna roll our sleeves up, we're gonna get down and dirty, and you're gonna get a boot camp, you're gonna be in this boot camp. And then actually the day before the boot camp, we're gonna do a mini class, a Monetize Your Mindset mini class. And if you're not able to make that, you'll have a recording, so you'll get access to that. But you'll have Q&As, we'll have a branding strategy, we'll have all of those things inside this 5-hour boot camp. Now, when I first had it in March, they paid $397 for this. So those ladies who did those testimonials paid $397 for this training. And you're going to get it for $147 if you sign up within the next 48 hours. Okay. And after 48 hours, it's going to go to $197. So Monday, it'll go to $197. All right. And then if you want the premium access, you get all of that. Plus you get a business inbox toolkit, which is going to give you templates, emails, and your offer framework for your idea. Okay. Also, you get a one-on-one 30-minute audit call with me, which is $250. You can go to my website right now and see that coaching with Constance is $500. That's $250. I'm throwing that in for free. All right. And then you also get branding access, priority access to Net 7, and you get the gym, the Grow Your Money Club, for 7 days for free for only $297. Okay. This is an investment into your business. Finally, for Net 7 Collective, like I said, you'll be a part of this amazing group of women, which is a $10,000 investment, and you'll be able to get it for $5,000. And if you sign up, you'll also get into the Bring Your Idea to Life. We'll do one-on-ones with you. We get ongoing mastermind. You have a lifetime membership. You get VIP access to all our in-person events, which we're going to have. I'm going to be in Vegas. So all the places where we have Net 7 Nation, I'll be doing like a tour of each city over the next 6 months. So we'll have some in-person events, and I'll be attending some in-person events, but of course you'll all be a part of it. But the events that we have, like the larger conferences and things like that, you'll get discounts and VIP membership to all of our events as a member of the Net 7 Collective. And then you'll learn how to speak. You'll learn how to articulate your unique value proposition. Okay. I'm going to help you develop your business. We're going to give you ideas. You're going to be around the gold of Black women from all walks of life and international. Net 7 Nation is not just here in the United States, but we have a chapter opening up in West Africa. We have a chapter opening up in Europe. We have members in Switzerland, in France. So we are going global. And, if you want to be a part of something that I think is going to be transformational and it's going to be life-changing and it's going to make history, I think you should be a part of this. I really do. Okay. So if you go to ConstanceCarter.com/welcome, you can join today. You can invest today. Okay. All right, so I think that's it. Let me stop sharing and let me see if you have any questions before I get out of here. I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes for Q&As if you have any questions on anything. And if you're trying to log on right now, if you have any problems, let me know. But I want to see you guys. I want to see your face in the place next Saturday. I'm taking out my Saturday, and I like to be outside on Saturdays. But I'll take my Saturdays to really pour into you and coach you. So I just want to see if you have any questions on anything before we get out of here. I see a lot of you guys are going to my website right now, so come on in. Any questions? I know it takes a minute to type, so I'm gonna give you a second. And if you have no questions, then you can go on about your business. But I definitely want to see you on Saturday. And for those of you women, Black women, if you are Black women, or send this. This is not going to be available. This recording is going to be available for the next 24 hours. So it's not going to be available after 24 hours. So send this to your people. Let them see this. Let them get all enveloped in all of this. And let's go. Let's work together. Let's work together. All right. So I don't see any other. I see Christina said, thank you. Love you, Christina. Tamisha is excited to be a part of this community and getting more motivated every day to move forward. I'm locked in, and thank you very much, Queen CC, and may God continue to bless your efforts. I appreciate you too. Beatrice says, thank you. A plethora of good information in such a short time. You are welcome. Lovely JR, good to see you again. So it doesn't look like I have any questions. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. All right. I hope to see you next week. Donna Turner, you gonna be at the conference? I got 2 conferences to go to next month. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do both of them. I'm supposed to be speaking at 2 conferences next month, same weekend. All right, y'all. All right. Hope to see you at on the training next week.